Thank you very much, Thomas, and really apologies that I cannot be there physically because I would have loved that. Unfortunately, indeed, I couldn't, and indeed, that shows I'm always, and my entire political career, I have been active on climate action, fighting climate change, and that has shaped my professional life. And until 2009, I did research, writing reports, doing the boring stuff, you could say. But also realizing that if I'm doing that, all those reports are being shoved away, putting in deep drawers, and politicians were not listening. And that was why in 2009 I stepped over to European Parliament to fight for a European green story on acting on climate change. And that I have been doing from day one into the European Parliament. In bad days, I was in Copenhagen. Sorry for my Danish friends, but Copenhagen to me always has that negative connotation still. But I was also in Paris in 2015 when we had the Paris Agreement and when we struck a global deal offering hope to many people, to new generations, that the world can tackle climate change. However, since then, a lot has happened, but also a lot has not happened. And what I'm very proud of, that in 2019, I was allowed to be your Spitzenkandidat to run the first and unfortunately, until now, the only real European climate campaign. And in 2019, I did, together with Ska Keller, it was an honor to do this campaign together with you and visiting many of your countries, going throughout Europe and trying to really build this European success story where the Greens were the kingmaker for a new parliament. And that was a lovely experience to do during my campaign in 2019 and what I would like to repeat in 2024. But let's be honest, 2024 will be more difficult. 2024 is different. Although climate disruption is hitting us on an almost daily basis, people feel insecure. People feel left out. The cost of living is immense. Housing has become more a capitalistic market instead of a human right. Energy poverty is sweeping throughout Europe. And the right will blame us. They will attack the Greens. The Greens will be under attack this time. It will not be as easy as in 2019. But our answer needs to be offensive. Offensive, where we are going to make clear that it's the fossil fuels that is increasing the cost of living. It's fossilflation, not just inflation. And it's also fossil policies that made us dependent of regimes like Putin. We allow them to weaponize their resources against us. Green policies are still necessary for our future economy. And we Greens have to show that our allies can be in the industry if they really want to innovate. But our green transition will only succeed when it goes hand in hand with a social, just transition. And social justice means attacking our inequalities. And let's be honest there, Europe has failed. Europe has failed in its social policies. Inequalities are still rising. Austerity has killed our social fabric. We Greens need to be offensive. We need to stand up for a more socially just climate transition. But let's be honest, the most offensive we need to be against the far right. Our inclusive society is under attack. First, refugees are the scapegoats, but next they go after our LGBTI community. See Poland, see Hungary, see Italy. But also, unfortunately, see also our recent elections in the Netherlands, where Wilders was winning and I'm still have to recover from, to be very honest. A person that is scapegoating an entire religion, a person that wants to stop the support for Ukraine, and a person with his best friend, Viktor Orban. We Greens are the best antidote. We are the best antidote against the far right. And that also will be and should be our campaign. I know some of you will have questions on our cooperation in the Netherlands with the Social Democrats. But let's be honest, we have a totally fragmented political landscape in the Netherlands. And we had to work together to fight the far right. We didn't beat Wilders, but we did become the biggest opposition force after Wilders. And since the election result, 4,000 people in the Netherlands became member of our parties again, because they see that we are the force against the far right. And people expect us to fight for the far right, against the far right, and stand for our inclusive, just society. Our progressive cooperation had to continue and has to continue because the people expect us to be the antidote against the far right. And my message will remain the same. My message will remain the same. I will campaign for a green, socially just Europe, an international Europe without double standards, a Europe that welcomes, a Europe that cherishes each religion, culture, gender, sexual orientation. Only together we can fight our global challenges, and only together we can beat inequalities and injustice. And only us Greens, we stand ready, and I stand ready if you allow me. Thank you very much.